welcome to the. It's been so long since we've done this because Jim's been
It's
a
the
lazy
Smoked
fuck.
Debrief.
The Smoked Debrief. I'm Hollywood.
I'm Jim.
And this is the CEO and head motherfucker in charge of Warfighter Tobacco.
I believe the official title is El Presidente.
El Presidente. I knew it was something in Spanish.
El Presidente.
El Presidente. From Warfighter Tobacco, Scott Jansen, my good friend, and Jim's a fanboy of.
Yes.
But that's okay.
Yeah, we've been friends for a long time, Hollywood.
Seems like forever now.
Yeah.
I mean, over 10 years, I think. Or right at 10 years.
Over. Because when did you film Range 15?
215?
Yeah.
Yeah,
so-
over 10 years.
Yeah.
It's been a long, winding road.
Yeah.
Well, of all the cigars, and I'm not kissing butt. All the cigars that we've had, the Warfighters have been the most consistent, and I mean consistently good.
Oh, yeah.
I had one 5.56 one time that I think it was left out or dried out or something.
I mean, things happen, like in shipping and even manufacturing. We have, say
they are
30,
so good.
60 different rollers. Anything can happen to one cigar.
We're smoking a Nightshift.
Nightshift happens to be our number one seller, probably. It's our newest cigar.
It kind of came on like gangbusters, too, right?
It did. Right out of the gate, we got some good reviews, and then like Half Wheel gave it a 91, and then a year later they reviewed it and gave it a 94.
Really?
And for Half Wheel, like 94s
that's
are
huge.
Yeah, you don't really see them.
So how did it come about,
The review?
the cigar?
Oh, it was just a new.
Because you guys had the same, other than your Victory or your Hero cigar, you guys had pretty much stayed with the same.
Yeah. We tried to do new ones, and this was just one new one we were working on, and tried to get the marketing right on it and the blend. We have a lot of good blends in the works. It's the marketing side of it that's hard.
Yeah.
What do you call them? You got to come up with a band, boxes, that kind of thing.
Because you can have a great cigar, but no one knows about it and it not sell.
Yes, you can. You can have a.
I think we need to have a Churchill McCluskey.
Both Jim and I are in love with Churchill. We think he was the greatest dude that ever walked the
Right.
planet. But Jim has let AI write him a script about some one-eyed, one-legged bounty hunter or something named Churchill McCluskey.
It's a kid from the mountains of North Carolina, and he was named after Winston Churchill because his grandfather served, in World War II
Right.
and met Churchill and all this. So he was brought up learning about that honor and that discipline and everything. And he was gifted with whatever instrument, if it fired a projectile, he was immediately an expert.
Nice.
So, and we're on the adventures of, like, he saved a woman from being raped with a spark plug and a slingshot.
I like that.
So like we were saying, the night shift.
Hollywood's like, McCluskey, that's gay. It's like Burt Reynolds was Gator McCluskey. That wasn't gay.
Was he Gator McCluskey?
Yeah.
Are you bet your life on that?
Yes. Because I
I just
always
called
hear
him.
Jerry
I just
Reed.
called him Gator. I didn't.
I always hear Jerry Reed. We're gonna get that Gator McCluskey. I was brought up on that shit.
That's so ridiculous.
Oh Lord! But I told I am using ChatGPT. I don't give a shit. I mean, I'm too stupid to come up with stuff.
It's
But
funny.
It's really cool because you can tell it, give
Yeah.
it some ideas, and what it
The
comes
more
back is great.
information you give it, the better it is.
Yes, but I like leaving in the bad stuff sometimes, where it's obviously AI, because I think it's just kind of, I don't know, it's funny. So we've played with AI to help us design bands.
Really?
Yeah.
We've never implemented anything it's come up with.
Right.
But it's hilarious, some of
Yeah,
the stuff
'cause
it comes up with.
When we were trying to find our caricatures, and it would do like one great one in Hollywood, and then have me like being bald and like 3 foot tall, and then it would do me where I
Right.
liked it, and it would do Hollywood like where he's 2 foot tall and bald. And so I got on it. I was like, "Do you hate me?" I asked ChatGPT. No, but keep in mind that you will never get the same design twice. There will always be a difference.
Do you remember the coin that I designed for PCA. It had the cross cigars on the back.
Yeah.
That was ChatGPT.
Oh yeah. 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 No, it's fun to play with it, and it's crazy how accurate it is. I just said, what's the history of Warfighter Tobacco one time? I think it was to Grok though, or whatever that one was, and man, it nailed it almost.
I always start with learn everything you can about Warfighter Tobacco. That's what I tell it first.
Yeah.
Learn everything you can about Scott Jansen, and then it does its thing and it learns everything. Now it has an even better base.
Right.
For what the next question is.
But it knew like partners and timelines and like it nailed it. Yeah, it was pretty good, pretty accurate.
I'm never asking ChatGPT about myself. I don't want to know about me.
Well, I did, and the first thing it said was, "Racist cigar shop owner in Office Joe."
It was not racist.
Oh,
I hate that.
Yeah, you have to like give it a prompt of like remove all characters that I've played in film.
So, what are you up to, Scott? Why are you in North Carolina? Can you tell us?
Not yet.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not going to put it in public yet, but let's just. I mean, I can say I have some testing I need to do.
What made you decide to take the path? Can you talk about that?
Of what?
I'm a cigar shop. I'm a cigar company owner, but I'm unfulfilled and honey, I need to find myself and.
I don't know if I want to get into that yet, but no, I'm
moving on.
Yeah, moving on.
We'll be back for Scott Part D.
Yeah, I'll give you exclusive if that ever needs to come out. But
hey, where's our shirts?
did you order any?
Dude, you go to warfighter.com. Dude,
Not those. I can't say it because we're the Ranger Up.
Oh, we can't talk about that.
You said you were going to bring some fucking shirts.
Well, we can't. Oh, well.
And I said we won't broadcast it until after.
All right. Well, so Nick bought Ranger Up back.
I know that. He told me that.
Oh, he told you
Yeah.
that. Today?
Yeah.
Okay. And we have shot this ridiculous fucking commercial for the promo, bro. Austin von Lichtman, Mandatory Fun Day. Diving underwater to a Jeep, finding a treasure chest with
That was Eric.
an orb. No, it was Austin.
Austin did it too?
Eric, the guy you met today, was in a mermaid costume.
That shit was funny.
And
Blah, blah, blah,
blah, blah, blah, blah, blah. And then they go to a compound where Jim has this 24-year-old nubile young bodybuilder jump onto his back and kill him.
Garrot.
And he was like, "Thank you so much for that. Thank you for that. Thank you." And then we take over the compound, and then we go into we find two cryo tubes and Mandeville's in one and Nick's in the other, and we defrost them, and they decide they're going to bring Ranger Up back. That's why I was in Austin for like 18 hours last week, going to a tanning bed place in Killeen to shooting these two stand-up because they couldn't leave. So we went to them, and I turned these two tubes into cryo tubes. I had some smoke going on.
Yeah.
So it'll be a funny commercial.
Nice.
So
They're funny. He was flying the drone in one part, and then like just 20 feet away was a no-fly zone.
So literally, the bad guys are walking sentry duty on top of this first floor roof. And I got the drone up, and I'm getting aerial shots, cool stuff, great stuff, and I'm flying towards them, and it was like a force field. Bloop.
Yeah.
And the drone just stood there hovering, and this thing came up Burlington Air Traffic Control Area.
Yeah. That's an approach. I found out. That's the
ILS approach because the planes were coming right over there.
Yeah.
Well, at least it warned you so you don't get like those are major fines sometimes.
Oh, I know. I know.
Now
Well,
we
no,
just
'cause
know we need
Yeah.
to check Chat GPT and hack
Right.
that drone.
I have my license. My
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So
Yeah.
it's like they're serious business about it too.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Especially now, you can fight in whole wars with drones. So
Isn't that crazy?
yeah,
Some of that shit's scary.
They need to be pretty picky about who flies it where anymore.
Is there something on the burner for a new cigar?
Yes, we do have stuff on the burner. I got a couple blends. It's marketing stuff that I'm working on now. So yeah, I don't know.
And you guys do all your own blends, right?
Yeah, yeah, and blends. It's the easiest part of a cigar, I think, but it takes
Takes the longest?
Yeah. So like the blend we have that we're working on now is, 2 years it took probably to make sure it was the right one. So
For the folks out there that don't know, how it works, can you walk us through a cigars?
Yes. I'll walk you through how I do it. So like we blend our own cigars, but I'm not like a master blender or anything like that. I know what I like.
They're guys at the factories
Yes.
that have been doing it for 1,000 years,
Yes,
right?
my guy that runs the factory, Gonzalo, he's knows exactly what to do, right?
And you can just tell him, right?
So the first time I tried to do a blend with Gonzalo, I gave him the exact tobaccos. I want this, 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 and this, and I said, hey, can you make me these? And he said no. And I said, okay, I didn't know it worked this way. Why not? And he said, well, it won't burn right. I'm like, okay, I believe you. It won't burn correctly. Make me 10. So he makes them. We smoke them. They don't burn right.
Yeah.
Because I was trying to put too much of one type of tobacco in the cigar, right? Now, flavor-wise, the cigar was okay.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't burn. So you need somebody who knows blending to make that kind of stuff right.
Yeah.
So now what I do is like, okay.
Because if you didn't, you could make a whole shitload of cigars
Yeah.
and you'd be effed.
You'd be effed. Yeah. Which you never would because you need to. So the process, right? After so the way I do it, there's two different ways. We'll go down there and we'll grab some tobaccos from scratch and smoke them and be like, okay, this is good. This is not good. This is whatever. Or I'll say, hey, I'm coming to Nicaragua. I'll be there in 3 months, or I'll be there in 3 months because it takes about 90 days for them to be smokable.
Yeah.
You can either smoke a cigar right when it was rolled, but if you wait 2 days,
It's the formaldehyde.
yeah,
or whatever comes out.
it's the
It's out
Gotta
gas.
it
gas out.
starts to ferment and you get ammonia. Then you got to wait 90 days or
Yeah.
at least 60 days. So we can do it when we're there, but I'll tell Gonzalo, I'll be like, hey, this is kind of what I'm looking for. I want a medium plus, in strength. And I want these kind of flavors. But if I give him flavors like nutty, he looks at me like I'm a moron.
Yeah.
He's like, no, like these are made up flavors, right?
I'd love to hear that.
Right.
Yeah.
Because we always mock that when we're smoking a cigar. I'm
Right.
like, I detect undertones of.
But when you're talking to
Peanut butter and jelly.
right, they're there and they're for you, but you can't say I want a cigar or I want tobacco that tastes like jelly. He looks at you like you're retarded because you are, right? So I tell him, hey, I like jalapa seco, right? So I have to know how to talk to him
Right.
about what kind of flavors I want out of what tobaccos, right? And I said, so I'll be like, this is, I kind of want it to, or I'll give him a reference cigar. I want something that tastes like one of our cigars, but I want a little bit more of this. And he'll know how to change it. And then when we get there in 3 months, he'll have 6 different variations of this, right?
Yeah.
We'll smoke them and we'll like eliminate 3 right away. And it's usually the 3 that I give him the exact tobacco, right? Like, and it's because he knows what I'm trying to go for and he can kind of, so.
But at least he's giving you that option to see that.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll pick like the best cigar out of that. And then if we need to tweak it, from there we'll be like, okay, add a little bit more Ligero, take a little bit of this out, maybe switch the wrapper and the binder and see what happens. Because believe it or not, if you switch wrapper and binder on the same tobaccos, the cigar is completely different. On
Really?
yeah, which blew my mind. So, but then every time you tweak, so then when you get one you really like, right? It's got to age for 60 to 90 days. You smoke it again, but if you need to change it again, it's 60 to 90 days. Every time you make a change, you got to let them, and then you got to try more than, we'll usually make, 60 of a cigar and make sure it's good,
That's cool.
smoke through them. But yeah, it's a long process, so.
Yeah, it took, when I came up with our espresso blend, it was about 6 months, and it was just ratios.
Yeah.
Because I wanted a traditional Italian, which is mainly Brazilian based.
I love Brazilian.
So we and then we would blend the Brazilian and then some Colombian and some Mexican, and then the Ethiopian, which adds the little sweetness.
Yep.
And we finally got it nailed. It's pretty good.
Nice.
But and I had no idea. My wife and I, we just learned. I bought the roaster and started roasting beans.
Right.
And we know what we like and we taste, and
So you're talking coffee, but that whole conversation could have been tobacco.
Mm-hmm.
There's Ethiopian. There's everything you said could have been, and it's ratios.
Yeah.
The same thing applies to cigars and blending.
That's really cool.
Yeah. And it's cool too, like coffee is so related to tobacco. Everywhere that tobacco is good, coffee's good.
Yeah.
Nicaragua, you got, all the different areas are all very similar.
Yeah, that Mexican that I get, comes from Veracruz when I can get it.
Yeah.
Because we had an importer and he burnt the factory. He burned them real bad on some stuff, so I couldn't get any more because they wouldn't sell it to anybody else either.
Yeah.
And the lady who works in the bakery is Mexican, and I asked her to call them, and she called them, and they sent me pricing and everything. And now Royal New York carries it, so it's cheaper for me just to get it from them.
Right.
But Hollywood and I have talked about maybe getting in a truck and just driving down there.
There and getting it.
And see if we can make it back.
So if your new venture works out for you,
Yeah.
we might call you and John up and.
During COVID, we were worried we wouldn't be able to ship the cigars.
Really?
So there was a minute I was thinking about chartering a private plane to fly down there, pick up some, because we were running out, and we didn't know how customs was
Were
going to be
you allowed
working.
to stay open? Well, you're in Texas.
Yeah, yeah.
Texas
No, we were
wasn't-
fortunate.
They were mostly
And online.
online
yeah,
then.
So
I mean, COVID really helped you guys.
it did. Yeah, it's unfortunate to say, but yeah, COVID was good for the business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I get that.
I would have got a Sonero Star, and I'd have gone down there and landed on some dirt strip like Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
and that'd have been great.
So I found out the problem is bringing your own pilot to renting planes. They don't like to do that. It's usually you're renting the plane and their pilot.
Yeah.
Because I had another pilot that was kind of lined up, ready to go, and it's like, no, but it didn't have to come to that. But it was crossing our mind, like, hey, we might have to do this. So.
That is a great Warfighter ad, where you make it seem like you're running drugs. You go through the whole
Right.
thing.
Yeah.
You're
That'd
loading
be
the
cool.
shit up in the airplane, and when they drop the stuff, and you guys come and open it up, it's cigars.
Yeah, that would have been great advertising to do that. Yeah,
That's hilarious.
because we would have probably filmed a lot of it. So,
that'd have been great. That'd have been perfect.
Like I think I would be a good money launderer, right? Like I think I would be good at that. The problem is I have no money to launder. That's the part I suck
Amen,
at.
brother.
The opinions of the guests on the Smoked Debrief do not reflect the producers.
I didn't say I should. I said I think I'd be good at it.
I've been trying to buy one Bitcoin for about 6 years.
You don't know any Bitcoin yet?
No. I think I got 0.00001 of one Bitcoin. But it's like $175 worth or something.
Back in the day, I owned a gun store, and somebody wanted to buy a gun with Bitcoin, and boy, do I kick
Oh,
myself.
my God.
It was like
How come guys like us
tens
never
of Bitcoin.
know?
I know, right?
I had the same when I had
We
the
never
stereo
know.
shop.
We're like Bitcoin. Oh, fuck,
Yeah. This
Bitcoin.
is
What
like-
kind of a bullshit thing is that?
2012, we put some stereo equipment in this kid's car, and he comes in, and one of the guys comes back and says, Jim, this guy wants to pay us in Bitcoin. And he owed us like $600 or something.
You'd be a
You'd
billionaire.
be retired.
yeah,
Like you
and-
never have to work again now.
And I texted, now since it blew up, because I told him, I said, take that bullshit and go somewhere else. There's a teller thing right across the street. You go get your fucking money out of the bank and bring it to me. And
Wow.
when
What
that shit
was
went up,
$600 of Bitcoin in 2012? be worth now?
A lot. But the problem is, another mistake I would have made is as soon as it doubled, I would have fucking sold it anyway. It never waited for it to get to where it is now.
I texted the kid that came back and told me. I texted him when Bitcoin shot up. I said, "You remember that kid that wanted to pay us in Bitcoin?" He's like, "Yeah." I said, "Why the fuck didn't you talk me into it?"
I bought Southwest Airlines stock when it was like $5. After 9/11, it went way down.
Yeah.
It stayed down. But when it got to $10, I was in trouble money wise, and I had to get rid of it. I think I had. I either had $1,000 or $5,000 worth, and it went to fucking $35.
Yeah.
But guys
right
like
after
us,
you sold it.
Yeah, but guys like eventually it went to 30. But guys like us, we don't have the ability to I don't know what it is.
Right.
It's not stupidity. It's just life.
Life, yeah. Yeah. They say that if to make money, you have to have money. And that's very true. It's hard not to. It's hard to make money if you don't have any.
It's hard. When I started the stereo shop, when I got out of the service and I started the stereo shop, I had $80, and that was from unemployment check.
Right.
And I just went and opened up a checking account in the business name, and then went and found a spot, in like the worst part of town. But and it was all word of mouth.
Right.
And people would come and I would explain to them I can't do anything without a deposit.
Right.
So they would get and it just we kept
what
kept
what years was this?
80. I started Ear Candy in 89, and I still have 2 clients right now. But when the coffee shop took off, I kind of stopped it.
Right.
Because the coffee shop.
So you
is
did like
where
car
the store
stereos
was.
and stuff too?
Yeah, we did.
So that's a
surveillance and all
great
stuff.
business model though. Like looking back on it, you're in the bad part of town, so you're selling people car stereos.
Yeah.
The car stereos get stolen, and you're selling them. You have repeat customers on something you shouldn't have.
Well, he was
probably.
actually 2 or 3 of the guys that worked for him.
We're stealing
Or
them
the
back.
guys who were still. They had their addresses and everything.
I had that shit happen to me because
I did.
when I did heating and air work, I went to Greensboro and had stereo equipment put in my car.
Right.
The very night that after that I'd gone and picked it up, that night the shit got stolen.
Yeah.
And I went back to the same stereo shop, and the cops figured it out. It was the installer and his buddies.
No shit.
Yeah.
Because they were dumb enough to put the same stereo back in with the same
So
serial
they put
number.
the same shit back in. I mean, it wasn't.
Is that really
new
true,
shit.
Jim?
Yeah, the insurance paid for it, but they did the cop scan. It was like I was either after I'd left it the second time and I was coming back and the cops were there. And
We're at the
it just was
we're at the stereo
coincidental that I
shop?
happened to be there getting the same shit put back in. So that was a long time ago. That was stereo sound in Greensboro back in the day.
Yeah. It's funny.
Except Adam put an alarm on it the second time. Little Clifford alarm.
They have the key too, so you just
Yeah. Doesn't matter. So you get your blend ready, and then what happens?
then it's ready to go. Then it's marketing. You come up with bands, branding, boxes, that kind of thing. So,
As an independent guy like you guys are, how do you market it? I mean, is it only on the website? Is that how you're marketing?
no, we have our own podcast because originally we started out with podcast marketing through other podcasts and it worked great. The problem is all those podcasts got really big and now it was too expensive. So, all the social medias pretty much ban us from reaching anybody.
Well, because it's tobacco.
Because it's tobacco. And then with us being Warfighter, it's tobacco and guns usually. So so we can't pay to advertise on any of the social medias, but so it's all organic.
Well, I got a meeting with Donald next week, and I'll see what I can do about getting that
Yeah.
social media ban lifted.
gonna make cigars for everyone.
Beautiful cigars.
They're free.
So Warfighter especially. They make the most beautiful cigars.
Well, Don Jr., I know he smoked some of our cigars, but
Is that right?
yeah. That's kind of a funny story. We were getting drunk in Vegas, and
What?
and John at SHOT Show.
Getting drunk in Vegas?
Yeah, at SHOT Show, and John happened to be drinking with maybe Don Jr.'s Secret Service security detail, and they weren't in uniform. We were just hanging out. Well, the one guy's like, "Hey, you want to meet him tomorrow and give John the card?"
Cool.
He's like, "Just call this number, or I'll call you." He called John and gave us a time and a place, and so we gave him a box of victories and something else. So
That's pretty
That's
damn cool.
awesome.
yeah.
Hell yeah. Do you find yourself when you go to Vegas looking at like how everything is put together and built and stuff? Because that's like, I'm sitting there looking at shit and I'm like, okay, how they do that, and I gotta go behind and see how they put it all together.
Yeah, sometimes, yeah.
Because it just, and you're like, fuck, I'd like to have just a percentage of what they spent on this joint.
Right, and that's why I don't gamble, because it's just paying for that stuff that they spent there. I don't gamble a whole lot, I guess. Every now and then.
On the bands, I have the worst time doing coffee bags. I probably got 30 coffee bags that I've designed, and they send me samples, and I fold them up and check them, and it's still, I'm like, no, it's just not going to do it. And
So I have a kid that works for me, Justin, and he's not a kid, he's an adult, but he's the same age as my oldest son, so I call him a kid. But he's great at, he does all of our social media, all of our podcast stuff. And when I hired him, I'm like, hey, do you know how to do any graphic design stuff? And he's like, not really. I'm like, well, are you willing to learn on the clock? Like, I'll pay you to learn this.
You should never let that guy go.
And it'll be hard if we ever.
He's a great kid.
He is. Yeah.
I mean,
but it started
he's
out
so dedicated.
He started out, like I'd be like, okay, like he would come up with we'd come up with a collective like design, and he'd go put it together, right, on whatever he uses. And then, we'd look at it and we're like, okay, change this. And then it'd be like, all right, give me 2 hours. Now I'm like, change this, and he does it in real time. As I'm talking, he's changing stuff. And so having somebody like that, and one, he's a veteran, he's a National Guard infantry guy, so he understands the branding. So like, I'm not trying, like when I say to make this change, he understands where it's coming from, as opposed to like some graphic design company. Like,
that's why you,
right.
in our environment, you can't hire someone that doesn't know the military aspect of it, because they don't get it.
Right.
You end up hurting their feelings,
and they end up they end up doing all this work, and it doesn't work, because when back in the day, Nick hired this company to help rep Ranger Up.
Right.
They did all this work, and none of it worked.
Right.
Because they didn't understand it.
Well, you tell a corporate, whoever, like, oh, hey, like, this is the night shift, right? I need night vision green. What's night vision green?
Yeah.
Well, then I spend 35 minutes trying to find the CMYK color that matches, Justin, he's just like, okay, I got it, stuff like that. It just, it works. Like, oh, we need an M4 on here. Well, I don't have to tell him which M4 out of all of the pictures to use. He knows it needs to have a laser on it. And you know what I mean? Like, it's just, he gets it, right? And so to have somebody like that, for the branding, it's very important.
Yeah.
Yeah. Our hard part now is, I think we're kind of working on our 10th anniversary cigar, but I don't know how to brand a 10th anniversary, because it's so far removed from like the kind of design work we do. So I'm kind of stuck.
Mac 10.
Mac 10. I like where your head's at.
And it's definitely appropriate.
Yeah. No, that kind of stuff's fun. I love design work. I love Nicaragua, all that part of it. The accounting and all the office stuff and the, like.
You got to have somebody else to do that, though.
Yeah.
I mean.
Yeah.
As the El Presidente, you should not be concerning yourself with those things. You should be concerning yourself with the bottom line and that kind of thing. But you need someone that can just bash it out for you. But again, then you have to have somebody you trust.
And on payroll, right? We try to run a little bit lean, so we're not, So it's always a challenge.
People think it's easy to be an entrepreneur. They think it's easy to start your own business, And then and this is why I'm always like, you sent me 20 extra cigars, and I'm like, I appreciate it, and I love you guys for that. But it's like, stop doing that all the time because I respect your business.
But not everybody gets that treatment. You know that, right?
Right. I know that. It's just like if you open up a restaurant, everybody expects us to come and eat for free. Well, you can't do that.
Right.
You know.
Yeah. Most friends that understand wouldn't do that.
That's right. Yeah. Real friends, they get it.
Oh yeah, and most of my, you order stuff all the time, and we.
Well, because I support you. I love you guys.
And if we see it, we pad your order a little bit.
And the cool thing is, that I appreciate it.
Yeah. So.
Like I got the last night shift hat.
What?
He did.
Yep, the last night shift hat.
Yeah. I thought the last one went to me because I knew we were down to 2. Dave's like, hey, we're down to the last hat. I'm like, well, give it to me. I don't have one. I want one before we run out. And then I saw Hollywood's order come through like literally hours later. Yeah. And so I'm like, well, I guess I don't have a hat, And Dave's like, no, we have one left for his order and one for you. I'm like, oh, good. So
have you got a physical store that somebody can come to?
Yeah. So our headquarters is a kind of a warehouse. So we do all of our fulfillment. We do the podcast there, and then we have a little, maybe 300 square foot area that's a storefront for walk-in. But not a lot. Most of the people that come to the store are people from out of state that are like, oh, I'm just going to swing by.
Yeah.
We have
and they may not even buy anything, right? They just come by to see you guys.
They usually buy.
Oh,
stuff.
do they?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
But it's people that just want to stop by, and I give them a tour. And
we've got a regular at the coffee shop, and he loves Warfighter. And I texted him. I said, man, I've got the guy from Warfighter coming down. And he's like, can you have an audience? I said, dude, it's so crowded. No, I said, because you wouldn't be able to really do anything. And he's a fanboy.
Yeah, that's cool. Like our podcast, we have room for people, and we put out when we record, so we have people show up, and most people that show up bring a bottle of bourbon for us or something, and but it's a good time. Like it was just Friday. One of our customers, he's like, hey man, it's my 40th birthday. I hate to ask, but can I just come in and like have a cigar with you guys? I'm like, hell yeah, So,
that's cool.
Yeah. So, we smoked a cigar, bullshitted, and then, he went about the rest of his day. And people want us to have a lounge. That I will not do because then I would never get any work done. So,
and people don't understand the dynamic of a lounge. Cigar shops do not make any money off having a lounge.
No,
because people come and sit and smoke one cigar or 2 cigars. I mean, you have to sell in the wholesale environment if you're going to stay alive.
Yeah. And if you go to a lounge, right, like buy from the lounge. Like I might, like there's lounge etiquette, right?
No, you have to. When I go to a lounge, I always buy a cigar from them.
Yeah.
No matter what. I never come into a lounge with my own cigars. Now, I might buy a cigar from them, and my second cigar might be my cigar.
Right.
But I'm never going to go to a lounge and smoke my cigar.
For however many I have, whether it's... Now, it's different if I'm like on a sales call. Like I go into 6 cigar lounges a day, right? And there's kind of an unwritten rule if you're a brand owner or a rep, you don't need to buy cigars. But if I go on my personal time and I'm going to hang out, I'll buy as many cigars as I'm going to smoke.
Right.
Whether it's those that I smoke or mine that I smoke.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But if I'm there for 5 hours...
And I smoke 3 cigars, I'm buying 3.
I'm buying 3 cigars. That's exactly right.
So...
I bet it's an adventure, because there were times when I thought about like, okay, what if I wanted to have a cigar, like a Salvation cigar or something, and so I start looking into it, and then but all you find out is whatever in Florida, and it's like the ones they take it's a boy or it's a girl label off, and they put your label on it, so it's a shit cigar.
Yep. And that's,
you're just getting the label.
It happens. So,
I mean, I even tried doing a label, a little band, and oh my Lord,
we have a program that we're rolling out where we can do cigars for whoever wants to do a cigar, right?
Right.
And there's
Like
a
an
minimum.
event or something.
Yeah. Well, not for an event. Like you're doing a cigar line. You're,
Like if I wanted to do
Oh,
a
okay.
Hollywood Herd cigar.
Yep. You have to essentially you're buying 5,000 is the like we're not going to
Nothing
do
wrong
it
with
any
that.
less than that. There's X cost and then there's a profit share. So the more you pay for it, or whoever is interested in doing one, the more they pay for it up front, the more profit share there is. And we're going to roll that out here pretty soon where we do that.
That's cool.
We have a couple people
Yeah,
interested.
that's really neat.
And then we sell it on our website.
Because
or-
what gets rid of them is the minimums.
yeah.
When you tell them.
But you can't, it's not worth
Well,
my time.
it's
Yeah,
not
it's
worth
not.
it.
Yeah.
It's not worth it if they're not ordering enough cigars to take care of all the
Yeah,
costs.
especially if you want your own blend, like
Yeah.
no.
Yeah, that's time. I mean,
Yeah.
you got time involved. It's like people want. They're always asking me about doing a coffee for them. It's like, okay, I require a 1 year commitment. You have to purchase X amount every month because I have to increase my production and my time involved in doing it.
Yeah.
And then if they want a bag, bag design, well, damn, that's all another thing right there.
It's so interesting listening to you two, how cigars and coffee are so much alike.
It is very similar. Yeah. Except coffee has a big advantage because there's a lot more coffee drinkers and you don't get
that's true.
and you don't get banned on all the social medias for advertising. So coffee there's a little advantage I think, but
That it, when I was in Germany, well, when I was at Fort Benning Infantry School, I had CQ duty, and the next morning, the first sergeant comes in and he wants his coffee, and
Right.
that's where I learned. He told me, he said, "Young, I want you to put some salt in the grounds." It's okay, and it was to soften the water,
right.
and so I learned that, and it was probably some shitty Maxwell house or something
Right.
like that. But then you get into Germany, and you see these people sipping out of these little cups, and that's where I was like, okay, what is this? So
Right.
you're down there, and it's the very stereotypical cafe in Europe, and you just sit there and like, I'll have one of those, and they bring it and you drink it. It's like, okay, this is really
Yeah.
cool, and you just sit there and people watch, and it's so damn neat. And that's where I fell in love with espresso
Right.
and cappuccino. We had this one guy, Levine, and I was 17, 18. Levine was like 35. He was an old man to me.
Right.
He was a shoe salesman from Chicago, and I have no idea why he joined the Army. But he was like a beatnik, and
Right.
he had this little wooden case, and we would be out in the field, and he had a little battery powered grinder,
Right.
and he had some cinnamon sticks. He'd scrape cinnamon off in it, a little frother, and all the platoon leaders would be coming over.
Right.
Hey, Levine, you got coffee ready? Yes, sir. Come on over. And that's exactly how
Yeah.
he talked. He's like, yeah, I was a shoe salesman in Chicago. This dude, they found him. We were out in the field and came back, and we all got 4-day passes. Levine's ass went straight to Frankfurt to the whorehouses, and he didn't come back. And they found
You
him.
mean didn't come back to duty?
They found him passed out in an elevator in the whorehouse with a hypodermic needle hanging out.
Oh,
so
no.
he was an E4 then. He got busted down to a E2.
He had fun.
But he did not regret it at all. He had so many stories. This one chick had a parrot. It was-
And a
it was
dick.
So funny.
But that was all right.
I didn't mind.
See, that was back in our days, bro.
Yeah.
You can't do that anymore.
Who said you can't?
Oh, there was some dumb shit that happened in my days too, but
It
it's
just costs more.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, who knows? With being Department of War now, all that shit might change back. Who knows? It might be fun again.
It might be. As long as you're not overweight, who gives a fuck what you do?
Yeah.
Heroin's totally legal now, but don't be overweight.
But yeah, your coffee story reminds me, like we go to Nicaragua or we go down to Central America, and the Cuban coffees, the little
Yeah.
espressos, man, that's I'm not a big coffee drinker, but I like good coffee. I guess that's the problem. It's hard to find, but not really. I'm just too lazy to do it myself. We even have a nice coffee machine in our shop, and I'm just too lazy. It's that in Texas is hot.
Yeah.
For me, I'm a cold weather coffee guy, and we have like a month of that. So
Yeah, we do. Cold brew is less acidic, so it's easier on the stomach. And
right,
so we do a lot of cold brew,
nice.
and that's been fun. And I bought a canner, which I shouldn't have, but I don't like relying on other people.
Yeah,
I want to get it and be able to do it. If I wake up at 2:00 in the morning and I want to can some cold brew, I'm going to go can some cold brew. But I've done one run off of the machine. It's been sitting because I have to have a holding tank. The holding tank was sitting outside for a year, and I finally got it inside the shop. We just don't have any room because we've grown so much with the bakery, and then I got this place, and I'm tempted to bring it over here.
Right.
But then I'm still shuffling because I roast there, and it's easier to keep it in house.
Yeah.
But once I get the holding tank plumbed, then it'll be kind of cool.
Once you run out that business next door, you'll be.
Yeah. Once he leaves, there's a barber shop next door. We keep hoping they'll go out of business so we can knock the wall out.
See if he's got room in the back for cold brew.
Yeah, I would love to have a freestanding building, but it's I just turned 59. I don't know if I want another damn payment going out.
Yeah.
Right now we're doing good. We are kind of leveled off because the parking we can't do anymore.
Right.
And that's frustrating. But at the same time, I'm employing people. They're making a good wage. My daughter runs the coffee shop. My wife runs the bakery, and I sit in the back and roast coffee. And it's just so much fun.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I just started as a side hustle because I was falling out of love with the electronic stuff.
Right.
Because people would come in, and it was like their sole purpose in life was to suck the fun out of whatever you were doing.
That was the gun business for me. I spent 90% of my time with 10% of the shitty customers, and it just got the best of me there for a while.
But it's like that in anything. Like even for us at Diesel Jack Media, we spend 90% of our effort trying to keep the 10% of malcontents.
Yeah.
And usually it's the smallest part of the business.
Yep.
Because people that are business people that you do business with, they get it.
Yeah.
They understand because if their business drops off for 2% in a day, they're not losing their minds. But it's those smaller companies that we went down 5% today. Well, that's got nothing to do with us. That's they're like, what did you do? This and that's the hardest part of having your own business.
Are you hitting tariffs?
Oh yeah, yeah.
That's it's like the coffee went up. 1 month I'm paying $3. The Ethiopian was maybe $4, and within a month it went up. So now everything's like $5, $6.
Yeah.
And I just ordered some parts from the UK, and all of it came over here. And then 2 weeks later, I get a bill from FedEx,
Right.
$1,200 damn dollars.
Yeah.
All tariff. That's all it was. I would still vote for his ass, but that bullshit needs to stop. I understand why he's doing it.
We'll see. You got to give it a little bit of time to see if it works and everything. But yeah, it's frustrating.
I told Hollywood, I said, this time next year when we're doing a podcast, I think everything's gonna be cool.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen I think the economy is a little slower for the cigar industry as a whole. I think is down a little bit, but who knows? It's always got its up. But then again, it came off of its highs, right?
Yeah.
So
supposedly the Congress is trying to make coffee exempt, so that'll be nice.
Oh, really?
Yes. I'm crossing my fingers for that.
Well, if you look at it, tariffs should be on things that we can do here, right? Yeah. We can't grow tobacco here.
No.
So
you can't grow coffee either.
Right.
And they're trying. So you can at Hawaii, but it's so damn expensive shipping. And I
Well,
don't
it's the
even
same
wanna
as
know what
shipping
it-
it from. It's the same as shipping from Central America.
No, it's way
No,
farther. away.
Hawaii is way expensive.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, just the distance.
No kidding.
Like all of our tobacco is flown. They just put it on flights and then
Oh, is that right?
yeah.
That's
So
crazy.
they're not putting on a ship.
No, it's flown into Florida. It's only a 2-hour flight.
Wow.
It's like I want to get our cups. Our cups are customized, and I knew I wanted that when I opened up. I said I'm not going to have a sleeve.
Right.
I did have sleeves because our cups didn't come in, but I knew I wanted my logo on that cup.
Oh, so your cups are the sleeves built into the cup.
Yeah, it's a double wall insulated. But there's nobody here that makes paper cups.
How is that
Or the
possible?
plastic. There used to be a shit in Burlington. There were injection molding companies. They made CDs, medical equipment, all that shit. Well, now none of that stuff. Tim got the machines and scrapped them. It's just nuts.
Yeah.
And people are like, "Why don't you get America?" Well, you find me a factory in America that will make my cups, and even paying $8,000-9,000 in shipping from China,
Right.
they're still
Cheaper.
14 cents a cup with that rolled into it. Whereas here, I bought them from an American company, but the American company was bringing them from China,
Right.
and they were just printing on them.
Yeah.
And they were 60 cents a cup.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't I get them from China?
Right.
Ultimately, you're in business to make money, and
Yeah.
you want to be around.
Yeah.
So you got to. And if somebody, I even looked into the equipment. I'm not smart enough to go and like, okay, I need this factory. We're going to start making cups. And I think I could probably get some clientele and say, I'm thinking about doing this.
Right.
Would you be interested, and would you place an order, and stuff like that. But I would love to.
Yeah. And
to
like
do it.
even like the what do you call them? The Yeti, double walled.
Yeah.
Nobody makes them here.
Yeah.
You
No
can't-
kidding.
Yeah.
It's insane. It's like, but now, like, I can call the factory in China, and the lady that I deal with, she's a Christian. She speaks English very well. So when I type it, when I'm emailing her or something, you have to be up at like 2:00 in the morning to
Right.
email her. and she gets it, and she just sends me pictures if there's any questions and stuff. And like my brewer, my cold brewer, I got a quote from a manufacturer here, and it was like $30,000-40,000 for this 5 BBL brewer. And he sent me the drawing, the specs and everything, and I was looking, and it was in Chinese. So I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
So I started looking, and I got the exact same system for 16 grand shipped
Yeah.
straight
Yeah.
to me. This was before. No, this was when Trump, the first Trump.
Right.
But because I love finding a process that will make it easier, and I can run it, or one person
Yeah.
can run it, and you're not, it ends up being cheaper in the long run. Of course, you got to have the money to put up front,
Yep.
and then start, and eventually it'll pay off. The canner, not so much, because that bad boy was expensive, but eventually it'll
Yeah.
pay off. I just love that stuff. I don't even care if it's coffee. Just like these guys. This is a local distiller, and they used our espresso and distilled this
Oh, nice.
espresso
Yeah.
liquor. And I love this stuff, just the bottle and
Right.
everything. Because I'm like asking them about their bottle, and like, yeah, we had to get it from such. I said, well, there is a company in Washington that makes glass bottles. And they're like, yeah, but they're on a backlog, and they're not
Yeah.
taking any new customers. Like, oh, great.
Yeah.
But I love that stuff. It's so
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, I went to school for like machine tool, so like some of that CNC stuff and I worked in a factory, like a production where they did injection molding and,
Yeah.
and stuff like that, and it's cool to watch. It's cool to see, but hey, how you'd get into something like that?
You
a
just
lot
see
of
those
money.
little pellets going in,
Yeah.
and then comes out, and there's your product.
Yeah.
And well, now, all the with the 3D printing capability, of course it's expensive, but
Yeah.
you've seen those guys with print farms, and they print like Star Wars helmets and shit.
Right.
And that's all it is these $600 printers they got, but they have like 100 of them.
Yeah.
in a storage building, just pumping out stuff.
Yeah.
It's crazy, but I love that stuff.
Yeah.
It's so neat.
Now they have the metal printers too, which are awesome. A lot of technologies going to that.
Is that the one that prints it's like a powder,
Yep.
and then the laser or whatever does it,
Yeah.
and then they dump all the powder, and there's the product.
It's cool.
I can't get my head around how that shit works.
The cool thing about it is you can do designs like I used to make suppressors, and
Well, is that right?
oh yeah, when we were doing firearms and stuff. But you can do suppressor designs with most people are doing 3D printed stuff now.
No kidding.
You can do designs that you couldn't machine because it's like, so you just print the whole thing now. Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Wow.
Savannah gave me this for my birthday.
Ah, the old draw tool.
I think I'd be better off with a roach clip.
I don't know what you're talking about.
There we go.
What, you make that?
No, Savannah gave it to me for my birthday.
Oh, that's cool.
Somebody made it. Some blacksmith somewhere.
That's hilarious. Yeah, 3D printing is crazy now.
Yeah, it's cool.
I mean, you have a part that breaks on something, and it's old, and they don't manufacture it anymore. You can just 3D print it.
Well, that's
That's
the big
what-
thing that the military's trying to do right now is they have metal print shops, but all of these contractors and stuff, like I heard the Secretary of the Army talking, like most of the howitzers are down, and it's over a fucking $4 part that they could print themselves, but they're not allowed to work on the shit themselves. So he's like, you know what? I'll sign off on the response or the risk of doing this because it's just a wheel or whatever.
Because of liability.
Yeah, because of liability, or whatever. Like the whole military gave away all the rights to work on their own stuff.
I
So
think they're
trying to get all that back.
Palmer Luckey was on Joe Rogan. The last Joe Rogan,
Yeah.
Palmer Luckey was on it, and he's talking about. I think the Secretary of Navy or Secretary of the Army had come out and said, I guess because Doge,
Right.
they started looking and they're like, okay, we are done losing money on this kind of stuff.
Right.
And
Well, because
we're
it's
gonna-
ridiculous.
Yeah, it is.
The
There's a
problem
lot of
is
waste.
you have second and first lieutenants negotiating with contractors who've been in the business for 50 years, 40 years.
Yeah.
The lieutenants, I mean, God bless them, they don't have a clue what they're doing or how they're being talked to or how they're being manipulated.
Well, and you have a big company, right? They've been around since, say, World War II. Who wrote all of the policy?
They did.
They did, because all of the chain of command comes and goes, right? Like, they'll eventually find somebody that'll change.
crazy.
Yeah, so.
He said, Palmer Luckey was talking about in World War II, he said, our factories here, our manufacturers flipped and quit making cars. They started making tanks.
Right.
So we were able to mass produce that. He said, we can't do that anymore. China makes their ship manufacturers
Yeah.
build all of their ships to military spec. So a ship that's carrying cars, that's shipping cars and stuff, can immediately transfer to where it's hauling tanks on a just like,
Yeah.
like that.
Really?
Well, they said if, like, China doesn't make 30 ships to R1,
Yeah.
but if we ever had to ramp up for, like, a world war, China has the ability to make 30 ships to R1.
Yeah. It's insane.
It's insane. Yeah.
And like his company, Anduril, is like he builds the product, then he gets the money. Like he builds the product, shows them this works. There's stuff of his over in Ukraine now, the drones and all that. He's got one of those drones, like they ship it and it's in a box and it just comes right out of the box, ready to go. He was showing he had a helmet on Rogan's show, and he was showing it where it had these sensors on the top where it was picking up audio, and then it had headphones, and he puts these glasses on, and he's showing like what you can see through the glasses. They had it up on the screen, and I mean, you can see the enemy's highlighted red, and the enemy goes behind a container. Well, the system still knows where that enemy's at, and it's tracking him. And then the drones come around. The drones are warning you, hey, there's something coming.
Well,
that shit's cool as hell.
Not only that, but if you have everybody in the platoon wearing the same kind of helmet,
yeah.
If this guy sees an enemy, everybody knows where that enemy is, right? So it's cool stuff.
That started in the airplanes.
Right.
We used to get data link feeds from AWACS.
Right.
And they could feed threats to every aircraft in the formation.
And now they use AI to prioritize the threats.
What's most, yeah.
And the drone, like you have one human pilot and like a team of drones flying with him, and that one human pilot is in charge and just sends them out. And you've got the drone won't get a case of the heebie-jeebies and decide I'm not risking my ass to go down here and bomb this place. They'll send the drones down, and it's so cool. I'm glad somebody like him is on our side.
Well, if you think about
it's amazing
possible impact of drones on close air support.
Oh, look at what Ukraine did to the Russian airfield that time.
That's
right.
right.
Got all the airplanes, yeah. But I was listening somewhere, and they were talking about how fighter pilots would go up against these full-size drones, and they could never win a dogfight because the drones, they don't give a shit about G-forces. So it could max out the plane and always,
it's crazy.
Always win. But
he thinks that China's going to invade Taiwan in like 2030 or something. And he comes out, he did a TED talk, and he comes out and he's like, imagine if you will, Taiwan immediately goes on alert because China, and he said China already has crafts approaching and landing and coming on into Taiwan before the U.S. is even out of bed thinking about it. And he said we should start making weapons. We should start making guns for everybody in the world. He said we should stop being their police and start providing them
and be their gun dealer,
to defend themselves.
Yeah. He said be their gun dealer. Yeah.
That's just, I mean, it's insane to me to think this kid was 14 and came out with that Oculus.
Yeah.
An instant billionaire. And now he does that Android. He loves it. He loves America, and it's so cool.
Yeah. No, that was a good podcast.
He's closer to being Tony Stark than
Right.
Elon Musk is.
Right.
Have you seen he did one, I think it was CBS interviewed him, and he was on that boat that he bought, that Navy boat.
Okay.
It's like the only one he's the only civilian to own one that works.
Okay.
And he hired some like ex-Navy mechanics to get it all operate. And he's on the boat, and he said all the guns were on it, but they were fake. He said, yeah, once we get out into different waters, we'll put the real guns on.
Right.
So cool. And he owns a copy of every video game ever made, and he keeps them stored in silos. He bought he collects missile silos.
Right.
And he has them stored. He said, I won't tell you where they're at, but I keep them in one of my silos. That stuff it's just crazy.
Yeah.
Jim, I don't think it's switching to you, is it?
Well, I don't know. Is it? Hello.
I don't think it is.
It's not.
You've been.
I don't even think my mic's on. Yeah, it is. Check. Oh, well. It doesn't need to be on me anyway.
Sure
It's
it does.
picking me up. Let me go smack it a little bit. Oh.
You weren't turning it on, were you?
Because I checked the cameras after I told it to auto switch, and it immediately canceled it off. Check. There we go.
you go.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, we're gonna start all over again now.
Oh my God.
Let's get another cigar.
Just say hi and then watch it in reverse.
There you go.
Exactly.
So have you gone to any other countries in your coffee?
No, I want to.
You should.
I get invites all the time. It's just right now, if I leave and like we have a run,
Right.
I'm the only one that roasts.
yeah.
So, and my daughter wants to learn, but I love her to death. But she's a hustler, but she's doing too much right now. As it is running the coffee shop, hiring, and she does all the hiring and everything. And
It's just impossible. You got to have someone that knows as much as you do and can focus on that and nothing else.
Yeah.
and when I had the stereo shop, we would have people come in. They wanted to work there, and it's like the first day they work. Hey, can I get some stereo equipment put in my car? Yeah, after you've been here for about 2 years.
Right.
And then they don't last that long.
Yeah.
But it's so frustrating. Or everybody that worked for me after they had been with me for 10, 12 years, they went on and often opened up their own stuff.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of like, I don't want to give away too much because, but I would probably require like some kind of contract where they had to work for me for so long,
Right.
in order for me to get back what they learned,
Yes.
in work.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's total, I believe in sharing information, but not at the expense of my business.
Yeah. We get hit up a lot from like new, say like a new Warfighter brand essentially wants to start, and they'll hit me up and I'll give them some advice and stuff. But like, they ask questions and it's like, man, you gotta learn it yourself.
You got to get out there and you've got to suffer
Yeah.
yourself.
Yeah.
You got to make your own mistakes.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
your experience is worth money. And if they expect you to give it to them, then you have to be compensated for that.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to be hardcore, but your knowledge is worth compensation.
Yeah. But it's I give general advice and stuff, and as much as I can.
But you've pretty much had the same people for a long time.
Yeah, and there's a reason for that.
No, that's my point I'm making is that it's hard to find that.
Yeah.
It really is.
It's hard. What is frustrating is like, I know my daughter has a passion. My wife, she's a hustler. When I decided I was going to open up the coffee shop was when I had gotten the roaster, and I thought, well, what if somebody's local and they're getting my beans and they want to sample it? So I need to have a place for them. And I asked the city. The city said, well, you got to put a bathroom up front. And fuck, that's the most expensive thing, plumbing and digging up the concrete. So I just went home and told my wife, we're going to open up a coffee shop. She's like, okay. And I started learning, okay, I need a bar. And there were things I would change about the bar, but because I had no idea what to put where.
And you didn't really either when you guys
No,
started.
hell no. We made every mistake. Yeah.
It's just, and it's I don't mind helping somebody, but at the same time, what they really mean is they want you to do it for them, so they can get into business. They don't really want to put the work in, and it's offensive.
Yeah,
it's just it's insane. There's a one of my buddies, Zach, owns Weapon Works here. He does Cerakoting and stuff.
Oh yeah.
And if you ever need, like he does, the Gators sunglasses, they contract with him. He does all the powder coating and stuff.
Right.
So if you ever need anything like that, which I know Texas, his approach to it is his doing weapons is a side thing for him now because he's doing so much other stuff.
Yeah, production pays better than one-offs for sure.
It's really cool.
Yeah, we were big into Cerakote when
the
I owned the
gun
gun shop. Yeah, we had a really good all the good equipment. Like we went down and got Cerakote certified, and yeah, it's cool. I miss having that ability because I always had cool shit. But
Yeah, because I don't have my cup anymore.
I know, right?
The motherfuckers make me another Warfighter.
we can't.
I know you can't.
Yeah,
I lost it when I got off that show in Savannah. I did that TV show for 9 months. And somewhere in the move back to Atlanta,
yeah.
my Warfighter Yeti went by the wayside.
I need to get
somebody
more.
out there. I just know one day I'm gonna be somewhere.
I don't even know where mine is anymore.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm gonna be somewhere and I'm gonna see somebody drinking out of that cup, and next thing you know, there's gonna be a fight going on.
Yeah.
Because I know there was only like 10 of them or something.
Yeah, there wasn't very many made. Those were detailed and hard to do. So.
Have you had any? I know you had that one where you asked him to blend it and it didn't burn right. But have you had any that after you've done everything and they seem like they're going to be okay and then they just suck?
I blended a barber pole one time, and at the blending table, it was amazing. We were super happy with it. We let it age, and it was the worst cigar I've probably ever smoked. It did not age well together. So, yeah, we had. I think I still have some of those that are like probably almost 10 years old now, and they're still terrible. So, yeah, no, it happens. Yeah.
How do you feel about aged tobacco?
I think cigars hit their prime in about 6 months to 3 years. Anything longer than that, I think you start to lose a little flavor.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I've got some. JR's had this lady. They brought her up from Nicaragua. They put her in an apartment and everything, and her kids came and they sent her to her kids were here going to school and stuff, and she would be at the JR's hand rolling, and it was all mostly Nicaraguan tobacco, and they would tell you can smoke them now,
right,
but after that you need to wait.
Yeah,
but I think I've got 3 or 4 in this one humidor or one she rolled, and she did a barber pole.
Yeah,
but I haven't smoked.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's all barber poles. It just happened to be that blend we did was just, man.
But I can't think of a barber pole that I've smoked that I've loved.
They don't burn the best.
I really, thinking back, I just can't think of a single one. I thought, this is a great smoke.
I gave you a box of Cubans.
Yeah. Cuba.
I think
Louisiana.
I think you lit one up.
The Cohiba barber pole that they've never
I got
done.
these fake Cubans. I'm gonna smoke, and I was like, "Are they fake?" I was texting you, "Are they fake, really?"
It's a hard thing to say, because I told Jim I have a buddy in L.A., a long-time friend from the movie business, and every year he'd go to Mexico and bring me back a box of glass-top Cohibas.
Right.
And we'd always smoke one, we brought them back, and it was like smoking hay.
Yeah.
And I never, ever said anything to him because, he was so excited, and I was just like, because he thought they were great.
Yeah.
And they were shit.
If you go to Mexico and you buy Cubans and they're real, you're going to pay $40 to $60 for them.
And you got to go to Casa del Habano. I mean, that's really the only place you can buy them where you have a chance of them being real.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of Kirby
Is that in
Allison?
Mexico City?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they're also in, I think there's also a Casa del Habano in Puerto Vallarta. And there was one.
Yeah,
there's only a couple.
You're never going to give $15 or less for a real Cuban in Mexico.
Have you ever heard of Kirby Allison?
Mm-mm.
I think he's in Texas, but he has a podcast and he YouTube channel. It's really just a show more than a podcast. But he's always going to London, and he hooks up with.
That's that guy. That's
Hazakian. They have the Davidoff store in London, and then he goes to the these other cigar shops in London where they've been selling Cubans for what 100
100 years.
years or more, and he goes and talks with this lady.
He's
that
very
works-
sophisticated, this guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He's all about bespoke
Right.
shit, and but it's so cool to watch his buddy and then his buddy's father, who's been a Davidoff salesman or
Right.
dealer forever, and they talk about lighting the cigars, and they'll pair some liquor, and it's really cool. He had one episode where he went to this. It was a lady who worked for this cigar importer in the UK, and they get Cubans in, but they have a staff that all they do is come in, they get the Cubans, they're unboxed, and then they're reboxed color wise and everything to make sure that everything's consistent before they sell it to their customers.
See, in Nicaragua, they do that at the factory.
That's
Oh, is that right?
That's
Oh,
so
yeah.
cool.
Yeah, like when they roll, say they roll rosados, right?
So they match the.
Every box is color matched.
No, I didn't know that.
That's
Oh,
so
yeah.
cool.
Yeah. Now, you might grab a bundle of one and a bundle of another, and they're a different color, but they're all
But they're all in that bundle. They're all the same.
in that bundle or box. They're all the same.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just that attention to detail means a lot. It makes
Yeah.
makes a huge difference.
But see, that's in Cuba, all of the cigar factories are government ran, so that should tell you a lot right there.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, like, so
That's cool.
yeah.
And that is one thing about Warfighter. That I've always noticed, they're always consistent. The consistency that you guys have got has been amazing.
Yeah, we're real happy with the factory and everything now. So.
Have you pissed anybody off?
Oh
They're
yeah.
like, this fucking cigar suck.
I've gotten a couple reviews like on Google, right? I got one 1-star review.
Who hasn't?
And this guy, I called him out on it. I'm like, this is a fake review for one. You know, like, yeah, but no, and like, if people give us a review, if they have issues, we have a warranty. Like,
Yeah.
if it didn't burn, like, if you just don't like the cigar, I'm sorry. Right.
Yeah.
And I have,
But that's different than the cigar not being a good cigar.
right. But if you have burn issues or problems, now if it cracks, you have to ask yourself why.
Are you keeping
Sometimes it's temperature changes that'll do it. You
I'm
know,
gonna have to remember that because I think it was a Warfighter that he burnt the chair with right there. I have to get my money back.
if it burns your chair, that's not our problem.
it? Not their problem.
If you drop our ashtray through your table, not our problem. The ashtray will be fine.
We've warned you that the ashtray weighs 300 pounds. So if you drop the Abrams tank ashtray through your table,
You hand it to
through
somebody.
your glass table, that is not the ashtray's fault.
Right.
You hand it to somebody, and they're like, "Oh, ooh."
Yeah.
They don't expect it to be so heavy.
Yeah. No, I mean, you're always going to have people that don't like your brand or product. And most of the people that don't like our brand, it's because of our brand.
Yeah.
It's not because of the product. So.
I mean, I've been smoking Warfighters, since I met you. Now we all know in the beginning,
Right. Yeah.
that was a different situation.
Yeah, we were learning.
Yeah. But in the last 7 years, I've never. I mean, and I'll say this: I've never had a shitty Warfighter cigar
Yeah.
in 7 years,
That's good.
and that's. I can't say that about every other cigar that I've smoked.
Yeah.
Well, our quality control is really, it's good.
I would say it's beyond good. I would say it's exceptional.
Do you think you have because?
But your relationship
Because
with
you're
your
small.
factory is really, really good.
Yeah, we're very hands-on.
And they respect you and they look out for you.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Yeah. Gonzalo, he's awesome.
Even though you're not, because Gonzalo makes other cigars, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we share Esteban Carrera's factory.
Right.
I think we do about 30% of their output last time I checked. So, yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And that's the hard part, being no, I don't mean to say smaller, but
No,
being,
when we were with
but-
Plasencia for a while, and Plasencia makes a third of all the cigars in the whole industry.
right.
Right. We were a very small fish. And we had a little bit of a quality issue one time, maybe twice. But the biggest problem with them is, when I order cigars, it takes about 150 days before I get them because they have to make them and then age them and then, ship them and all that. Plasencia would quote me that and it wouldn't show up for like 250 days. Well, if you're trying to grow,
Yeah.
and you can't grow.
Can't get product.
Right? You can't grow. You can't forecast. You can't it was.
And there's nothing worse than having a cigar company and not being able to send out your cigars.
yeah. Yeah.
That's almost the worst. That's almost worse than a couple of bad cigars.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We've run out lately. Our night shift has been very popular, and we've run out a couple times. We've run out of a couple sizes here and there every now and then, but we have too many SKUs right now. So
Is that right?
yeah, we're gonna lose some sizes, I think. Lanceros. Everybody loves a Lancero, but they won't buy them. We sell. I mean, I still have Lanceros.
Well, you
from the
had
very
some
first
kind of
order.
Lancero sale,
Yeah,
and I missed it.
yeah,
And I was like, damn, it was like 40% off or something like that.
yeah. We ran it for like a day or two.
Yeah, I was like, you motherfuckers, I missed it, you fucking guys. Because I love a Lancero. But, again, it's not a cigar that most people smoke.
right,
Even though a good Lancero, there's nothing like it.
right.
Again, difficult because of how Lanceros are made.
Yeah. Well, and like smoking a Lancero is not for everybody. If you smoke it too fast, it gets hot because it's so little.
Because it's so little.
If you wait too long between puffs, you're constantly
It's gonna go
relying on
out.
it. Yeah.
Yep.
So it's its own thing. But yeah,
That's why I don't smoke Lanceros.
yeah.
That was the last thing we smoked. Last episode.
Was it?
Yeah, that one.
Cohiba.
Yeah.
The Cohiba Purple Lancero.
Yes. You got a whole humidor full of them over here.
Yeah, Jim called me up. Hey, man, this guy's selling this humidor. There's like 7,000 cigars in it. He wants $500. I'm like, I'll take it.
Yeah, that's a pretty good deal, regardless of what's in it.
I mean, there's probably 500 cigars.
Yeah. Like some JR alternatives and
Those
CAOs
Cohibas and some CEOs. And,
Cohibas.
yeah, nice.
you know, it was a great deal.
Yeah.
And the humidor and the ridiculous, what's not a humidor, but what's it called? It has like, it's like that.
It's a humidor.
It's really was made for wine in the beginning.
Well,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, they
You know
probably
what I'm talking
were,
about, the Winador
but
or
it's,
whatever.
It's. I'm sure that company probably started. They're made wine coolers, but it's made for cigars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think
But
I doubt that they did a
was
whole
great
lot
score.
of.
That was a bunch
changing.
of there was like 50 Romeo and Julietas,
Nice.
the blue labels, and I mean it was a great deal.
Yeah.
10 Opus X's,
Wow. Yeah.
so
Yeah, that's a good deal.
I still don't know why he got rid of them. I said, "Did you quit smoking?" He said, no, I just don't do it as much.
So is there a new
big?
Victory coming out? Is that what's next?
Yeah, the 5th edition, that's in the works right now. So the Victory, we never changed the blend. We just changed the size. So, yeah.
How do you manage to do that over years? I mean,
Well, there's a lot of combinations you can do. Like the first one we did, I think, was just a normal Toro. And then we did a box pressed, torpedo. Then
right? Yep.
Then we did the closed foot. I think that's the 4th edition. I can't remember. I'm forgetting one. But yeah, now the new one's going to be something different. So we try to keep it the same ring gauge too, so the blend doesn't change. But yeah.
It's really a science, and most people don't realize that. I think
Yeah, that's where
most cigar smokers.
that's where you need a good blender
Right.
to make the ratios right
about
when you
Drew
change
Estate?
size.
Fuck you and your real estate and your fucking double.
I go over there
You're
like
blonde and your
that-
freaking Cuba and your.
That Liga Privada was a pretty decent smoke.
Yeah, for what? $40?
Yeah, that's like I think it was 18 or 19, but that's the only. And I
told Scott.
I don't even like the Cuba anymore because you have turned me on to different, regular cigars.
Well, your palates evolve.
Yeah,
It's like when you first, like most people when they first start drinking wine, it's the cheapest, sweetest wine.
Riesling.
Yeah, and then then as they evolve, it's they're drier and well, I
Yeah.
don't know, but
It's just like Connecticut. I hated Connecticut, but I love the Warfighter Connecticut because it's different than most Connecticut's. I don't know why. I'm sure
Yeah.
you know why, but it's I don't want to smoke something that tastes like nothing. And
Well,
the
a lot of
Warfighter
Connecticut's are chalky too. I don't know why.
Yep.
So you got to hide that a little bit. And we blend our cigars too. We avoid certain tobaccos that give you a dry mouth, or the bad aftertaste.
Yep.
We try to get rid of that. So, yeah.
Yeah, but just like the Nightshift that we're smoking and I just smoked, I don't even feel like I've smoked a cigar now.
Right.
I don't feel that. Oh,
Yeah.
I don't have that in my mouth right now,
Yeah.
and that's really the sign for me that you've smoked a good cigar. Is you don't. There's no aftertaste. There's no.
It's certain tobaccos that'll do that.
Exactly.
Yeah. You just need to know what they are and avoid them. Is what we do.
Right.
So.
I'm stoked that you came on.
Yeah,
I mean,
no,
Hollywood
thanks.
told me I got good news.
Well, I had to fucking pay him $300 just to get him to hang out with you. Yeah, he's like.
I'll give it back to you.
He goes like, I really can't be seen with a racist coffee shop owner from Office Joe.
So that's how you guys met too, right? You were.
He did the
Salvation Coffee Angel commercials. That's when I first met you.
The Weapon Snatcher, John Ruge.
But
did the
I
video
didn't
for
really
him.
know. I didn't really get to
you
know
were an
you
asshole.
until we did that commercial.
Yeah,
You're an asshole. Quiet on set.
The first time I met him, he was an asshole too.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, I was on set.
Well, yeah, you were fucking directing a bunch of fucking zombies that weren't actors, so you did good.
That's right. They were not actors.
We were not actors. Yeah.
So we did a coffee. I was the Coffee Angel,
Yeah.
and Hollywood was doing that, and
It was funny
it
and
was
it was
fun.
great. I don't know if it did your coffee shop any good, but it was great. They were great.
people love it. Because they would come in, like they'd get their coffee, and if I was behind the counter, they would turn around. Thanks, Coffee Angel. Like, get the fuck out.
We had one of the guys from our office who was probably weighed 50 pounds and was like 6'3", and he's walking along with his coffee, and Jim comes up and knocks it out of his hand, and he's like, "Oh my malaka, kamalaka," and then Jim's like, stop drinking sweetened over blah 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 coffee,
Lattes.
and it was a
Try
great,
this, my son.
That's right. It was a great commercial, and that's what I knew right away that you were gonna be my bro. If I'd only known you were racist then, I don't know what would have happened. Scott totally recognized you from the show. He knew exactly who you were.
Oh,
Yeah, from Office Joe. I'm like, oh yeah, I remember.
that was fun.
It was fun.
Yeah.
So, is there any secret Warfighter cigar coming that you can hint at?
Not really. I mean, I already did a little bit, but working on our 10-year and then the 5th edition Victory and trying to bring the San Andreas back. We got to rebrand it.
Are you?
Yeah. So.
Well, I have smoked a couple of Mexican cigars that have been pretty good.
I like San Andreas a lot.
And you know what? I've always not liked, San Andreas cigars, and I don't know why, but I forget what it is I smoked recently, and for some reason I really liked it.
Yeah.
Because you don't have the San Andreas right now, do you?
Not right now. No.
I think there's something's going on with them though, that they've got something figured out, because I really enjoyed the San Andreas that I smoked.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm looking forward to seeing that Mac 10 when it comes out.
Yeah, we'll see. I like where her head's at. You put a seed there, so we'll try to figure it out.
All I want is a Curtis LeMay, like a 6 by 62 or 6 by 64. That's my favorite size cigar. Something that's very manly and. If you haven't.
That lunatic was like that big around.
Jim brings some lunatic is like an 80 gauge or some ridiculous. Let's not be crazy.
So Asylum just came out with
That's what it was.
Yeah.
It was an Asylum
Lunatic,
freaking.
yeah.
but they just came out with a 138 by 12 or something.
Yeah, they got them at JR's.
It's
That's the one I almost
huge.
got.
That means you're nothing wrong with it, but if you're smoking a 132, you're definitely gay. That's all I have to say.
Well,
You got clown shoes on too.
Yeah.
Somebody's buying them because every time I go over there and I see them,
Yeah.
They're being bought.
Doesn't mean it's right.
No.
So I got gifted an 8x80 one time, or 7x70.
Oh my God, Asylum.
Yeah. Well, they're the ones that do that.
Yeah, no, I know. It's
and
like
the only time I'll smoke a cigar that big is if I'm like on a road trip and nobody's gonna see me smoking.
that's
it,
right because
you
your
know?
mouth is like.
Yeah. I got a 12-hour drive and here's 6 of it. So
I mean, that's just not natural for my mouth to be that wide.
that's good for you.
I'm the
sir.
same. That's how I feel about Lanceros.
It's like a cigarette. I mean,
Scott, thanks so much for joining us today.
yeah, no,
That's
it's fun.
great.
It's been great, and we're looking forward to whatever new is coming from Warfighter, and it's really great that you're on the show today.
Yeah, anytime. This was awesome.
Been great.
So
Appreciate it.
I get to North Carolina like once every lifetime.
I
so
couldn't
this
believe it
is
when you
awesome.
called me
Yeah.
the other day. I said, "Hey, man, I'm going to be in town." I'm like, "No way."
So,
John comes to Virginia and didn't even let me know. It's like 50 miles away, and so it was great that you reached out. And this is a Smoked Debrief. I'm Hollywood Herd.
I'm Jim Young.
Scott Jansen from Warfighter Tobacco. Everybody have a great day.
Appreciate it.